Good evening and welcome back to the Global SIGHTTLINE. Today we have major breaking and developing stories across the United States. From political tension in Washington to historic Olympic moments overseas, economic concerns impacting millions of Americans, and major sports headlines dominating social media. We'll break down what's happening, why it matters, and what could come next. Let's begin with the biggest political story unfolding right now. Political developments in DHS. Funding tensions. Washington is once again facing funding tension, this time surrounding the Department of Homeland Security. Lawmakers remain divided over immigration enforcement policy, border funding, and broader national security allocations. The debate centers around budget priorities, border security reforms, and how much authority federal agencies should have in enforcement operations. Some lawmakers argue that additional funding is necessary to manage increasing border activity and national security risks. Others say reforms must come first before approving expanded budgets. If a funding agreement is not reached, parts of Homeland Security operations could face temporary shutdowns or delays. That includes certain administrative services, immigration processing timelines, and internal agency programs. This debate is not just about money. It reflects a larger national conversation about immigration policy, border management, and federal authority. Meanwhile, the political spotlight is also on international diplomacy. At the Munich Security Conference, American political figures faced criticism and support alike over U.S. foreign policy direction. European leaders are closely watching America's global stance, particularly regarding NATO partnerships, Middle East policy, and relations with major global powers. Political analysts say 2026 could be a defining year for America's global posture, especially with increasing geopolitical tension worldwide. Public opinion across the U.S. remains divided, with voters focused on security, inflation, and economic stability. And speaking of economic stability, that brings us to another major story affecting millions of Americans. Social Security and economic concerns. New economic projections are raising concerns about future benefit increases from the Social Security Administration. Experts are warning that cost of living adjustments in coming years may be smaller than expected. If inflation remains moderate but living expenses stay high, especially housing and healthcare, retirees could feel financial strain. For millions of Americans relying on Social Security as their primary income source, even small changes in benefit increases can have major impacts. Economists explain that Social Security adjustments are tied to inflation data. However, some argue that the formula does not fully capture rising medical and housing costs that seniors face most. This has sparked renewed debate in Congress about potential reforms, funding solutions, and long-term sustainability of the Social Security system. Sustainability of the Social Security system. Younger Americans are also watching closely. Many are questioning whether benefits will remain stable decades from now. Financial advisors are encouraging diversification, retirement savings, private investments, and emergency funds as a safety strategy. Economic anxiety remains one of the top voter concerns nationwide. Now let's shift from politics and finance to something inspiring on the global stage. Winter Olympics. Team USA moments. The Milan-Cortina Winter Olympics 2026 continue to dominate headlines, and Team USA is delivering emotional, historic performances. One of the biggest stories trending today, the U.S. women's curling team achieved a stunning victory over defending champions Canada. Analysts are calling it one of the biggest upsets in recent Olympic curling history. The win not only boosts Team USA morale, it shifts medal expectations for the remainder of the tournament. Meanwhile, U.S. women's ice hockey is heading into a crucial knockout matchup. The rivalry games are drawing millions of viewers, both domestically and internationally. Figure skating is also capturing attention. American athletes are preparing for high-pressure free skate performances that could determine podium placements. Olympic coverage is trending heavily on social media, with highlight clips, athlete interviews, and emotional reactions gaining millions of views. Beyond medals, the Olympics are reminding Americans of unity, resilience, and international competition at its finest. Now let's return stateside, because major sports headlines are also trending here at home. NBA All-Star Weekend buzz. Basketball fans are gearing up for the NBA All-Star Game 2026. This year marks a milestone edition of the All-Star celebration, with a revamped format designed to increase competitiveness and fan engagement. Debates are trending online about which roster has the edge, which superstar will dominate, and whether the new format will restore intensity to the exhibition event. All-Star Weekend is more than just one game. It includes the skills challenge, three-point contest, and slam dunk contest. Ticket prices have surged, celebrity appearances are confirmed, and social media engagement is skyrocketing. For the NBA, this weekend is both entertainment and branding, reinforcing its global reach. Sports analysts say strong all-star ratings could signal momentum heading into the playoff push later this season. Now let's move from the court to outer space. Space and science, SpaceX launch. In science and technology news, SpaceX successfully launched another mission to the International Space Station. The launch carried international astronauts and research equipment aimed at advancing microgravity experiments, climate monitoring research, and biomedical testing. Space exploration remains a growing sector of American innovation. Private-public partnerships between NASA and aerospace companies are accelerating launch frequency and mission capabilities. Experts say increased commercial space activity could eventually reduce launch costs and expand research opportunities. Americans continue to show strong interest in space travel, Mars missions, and the future of human exploration beyond Earth. National mood and what to watch next. So what does today's news cycle tell us about the national mood? 3 major themes stand out. First, security and governance remain central political issues. Second, economic stability continues to weigh on households nationwide. Third, sports and global events provide moments of unity and excitement amid uncertainty. In the coming days, watch for updates on Homeland Security funding negotiations, new Olympic medal developments, economic data releases impacting retirement forecasts, NBA All-Star Weekend results, additional space mission updates. Outro. If you found this update helpful, stay tuned for more daily national coverage, trend analysis, and breaking stories as they develop. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.